Hi guys, welcome back. Happy New Year. Good to see you all. It's the first cook along of 2021. It's January, and for some of you this might be a bit of a disappointment. Some of you might be jumping for joy, but I'm doing veganuary, which basically means for the whole of January I'm not going to be eating any animal products. So no meat, no milk, no cheese, nothing that comes from animals. Even honey is off the menu, right? And if you're going to be doing the cook-alongs, I've got to eat what I'm going to make now, and I don't like wasting food, so I'm afraid you guys are going to do a few vegan dishes too. Now, I think that you'll enjoy this. This is a nice, simple dish. I'm going to show you how to make the most amazing baked beans, spicy baked beans, which you'll never buy a tin of baked beans again once you've made these, and some nice guacamole. We're going to chuck it on some nachos. We're going to make a really awesome, quick, vegan nacho dish, right? Okay. I'm going to get straight to it because we're doing this in real time and I don't want to keep you. So, first thing, I've already forgotten something. Oil. You need some oil in your pan. Get your pan hot. Nice and hot. We're going to start off with some peppers, okay? So we're going to take one pepper. I put about a tablespoon of oil. Oh, your thing's turned off. There we go. There we go. We're on. Right. Tablespoon of oil in the pan. Okay, and then we're just going to take the edges off your pepper. You're going to cut those into squares, smallish squares. So if you think about beans, the size of beans, right? What you don't want is massive chunks of pepper and these little beans. So you're going to kind of cut the peppers into small enough cubes, maybe like centimetre cubes, maybe even a bit smaller, so that when they're broken down, you're going to get them on the spoon or on the fork or on the nacho with a bit of everything else, okay? You don't want a massive chunk of pepper in your nachos, all right? So we're just going to get that chopped up and get that in the pan. Nearly there. I've shown you guys how to cut these enough times now. I'm not going to go through that again. I'm sure you can manage. If you can't, then just make sure you get an adult to come and help you. Okay, don't chop your fingers off, please. Certainly don't blame me if you do, because I told you to get an adult to help. Right. That sounds awesome. Right, so the peppers are in. Give them a little stir. Get those dancing. While those are dancing, we're going to take a white onion. Okay. We're going to remember how to do this, so the top off. Okay. Slice it down the middle, leave the roots on. Okay, then we are going to take the skin, get those layers, peel it back, but don't take the root end off, if you remember. Okay, so you end up with something like that you can hold on to. Alright, lay your onion down on the board, flat side down, and then if you run your knife lengthways, or top to bottom of the onion, not slicing through the root, so everything holds together, like so. Okay, and then we just slice across the opposite way, and we get nice, easy diced onion. It's dead easy. Right, that's half an onion. We'll do the other half as well. Onions are a good way of banging loads and loads of flavour into anything. Right, so people say, oh, don't like onion, don't like onion. I guarantee you, if you like pizza, there probably is onion in your pizza sauce. There's loads of onion hidden in all sorts of things. Curry. Always have onions in curry. So don't just tell yourself you don't like it. You might not like it raw, but in stuff, you ain't going to notice it. And by the time these are cooked, you're not going to notice these in your beans. Right, so onions are done. They're going to go into the pan. Right, at this point, I'm going to help it along with a little bit of salt. Just because the salt will help to draw the moisture out of those onions and the peppers. And when you draw moisture out of things that are frying, that's when their natural flavours intensify, the sugars come through, and that's what we're looking for. We're looking for nice caramelised onions and peppers. So, whilst that is happening, because it takes a little while, I'm going to show you how to make the guacamole, which we're going to put on at the end. Right, so, first of all, it's going to take an avocado, okay? Now carefully, in your hand, so I'm gripping at the bottom there, carefully, don't push down hard, just go backwards and forwards with the knife like a saw, and it should just glide through until you hit the stone, then stop, okay? Once you hit the stone there, like that, I'm just going to roll the knife around the avocado to meet where the slice started, like so. Stop. Avocado. Stir your peppers and your onions. Give your avocado a little twist. Okay. You get one half with the stone, one half without. It's the half with the stone. If you hold it flat in your hand and just pop the knife into it, twist, the stone will come out. Excuse me. Okay, next, spoon around the outside of your avocado. Okay, scoop out the middle. Get rid of your excess. Same again. Spoon around into a bowl. So the whole avocado has gone into a bowl. Okay. In fact, I should have chopped that up really. I'm going to chop it up in the bowl just with a knife, very loosely. Yeah, you can almost just, and if it's ripe enough, you need to find a ripe avocado really, then it will just fall apart. Like so. Right, give your peppers and onions a little stir. Next, we're going to go in with red onion, probably just half of a red onion. Okay, save the other half for a rainy day. Okay, so again, exactly the same method. Top off, peel back. Okay, run the knife straight down, all the way to the root. And then across those slices into nice little segments. The thinner you can do this, the better it's going to be. In a guacamole, you don't want big chunks of onion. Okay, fresh red onion is nice. The red onion is much better in a salad, just because it's not as intense as the white onion. That's why we're using the white onion in the beans, because we want an intense flavour from those. We're going to use a light onion in there. Okay, next, got some fresh coriander. Not so fresh, it's been in my fridge for a few days, but it's still perfectly fine. I'm just going to slice that into kind of thin bits. Put the rest of that to one side. I'll probably still use the end of that later at a later date. So put that into your avocado and onion mix. Okay, if you like it spicy, a little bit of chilli. I'm just going to use half of one of those because this is a spicy chilli. I've been caught out with these before. Different chilies have different amounts of heat, and you never know really until you start eating a pack of chilies whether you've got really hot ones or not. Okay, but I've got a few strips of chilli there. They're going to go in. Heat it through. Stir my peppers and onions. They are almost ready. They're starting to really sort of brown up. The onions are going translucent and see-through. That's a good indication that we're nearly there, and we're going to be moving on to the next bit shortly. Right, so let's finish this off first. So, pinch of salt in there. Glug of apple cider vinegar. Probably about a tablespoon in there. That will stop your avocado from going brown. If you don't put any acidity, so you put lemon juice, you put lime, I'm using vinegar, into your avocado, after a short while, a bit like apples, it'll go brown in the air, yeah? So it's important to do that. And we're going to go for a tablespoon of olive oil as well. Okay? Now, simply, going to just mix all that together with your spoon. Okay, and that's going to go on the top of these nachos, and it's going to add a cooling element to what are going to be quite spicy spicy beans. Sorry, if you're going to make them spicy, which I plan to. All right, so I'm going to just show you to the camera. These now are looking pretty. I don't know if you can see in there because of the light in here. These there are browning. They're soft. I'm happy to move to the next stage. Okay, and that next stage is add in mixed beans. So I've got a can of mixed beans here, and I've forgotten to empty the water out. So I'm just going to run to the sink and just drain these out. So you just need to drain off the excess liquid from your beans. Alright, beans go into the pan. Now they're going to offer a little bit of liquid there, which is a good time to add your spices before we get any more sauciness going on in there, okay? So I've got some chili powder, okay, I'm going to go in with that, about I would say a teaspoon you want of that, that's all. Okay, and then we've got some smoked paprika. Now this is going to make it feel like it's been cooked over flames. Alright, so I'm going to put a teaspoon of that in. If you haven't got smoked paprika, normal paprika is fine. I like smoked because it gives you a little extra element. If you've got garlic cloves, chop those up and go in, maybe 2 or 3. I've actually ran out of garlic cloves. So I'm using cheap stuff out of a jar, which is all I can find in our house. I need to go shopping. So that's the equivalent of like 2 pieces of garlic going in there. Right? Mix that up. So we're going to work all that together. Oh yeah, sorry, some cumin as well. About a teaspoon of cumin. Okay, cool. Teaspoon of cumin, that's all the spices in. Right, mix that up. Now, once all those spices have been mixed into those beans, looking a bit dry, so what we're going to do is add half a tin of chopped tomatoes. You wouldn't believe that's just happened. Right, my ring pull didn't work, so I'm just going to get a tin opener, open these, half a tin of chopped tomatoes. There we go. The good thing about using these tin beans is this can be eaten instantly, but you could also cook it for hours and hours and hours if you wanted to. Prepare it for the next day. These will make amazing breakfast beans with a bit of toast. Okay, so mix in your half a tin of beans. Half a tin of tomatoes. Put a full tin in. It's going to be too much tomato to bean ratio. Okay, we're going to go in for about a tablespoon of tomato puree in there. So we get a nice thick sauce. Just going to clean up here a bit. I'm making a right mess as usual. Right, mix all of that in. Okay, now what's going to make this tasty is a little bit of balance. So there's 4 kind of taste flavours. You can get, well, 5. So you've got sweet, salt, sour, heat. And you get those 4 things which you've got in there. Well, we will have in a second. You get the 5th flavour, which is umami, which is like what makes all that comes together and it sort of sets your taste buds alive. And that's what we're trying to do now. So in there at the moment, we've got the heat. We're going to need to add some sweet, which is going to be sugar. Okay, so I'm going to go for roughly, I think, 2 tablespoons of sugar. Which starts to sound a bit, but you're not having anything else bad in this dish. So 2 tablespoons of sugar will balance this perfectly. We're going to go for 1.5 teaspoons of salt. So there's your salt going in. Your sour is red wine vinegar again. So we're going to go for like a little drizzle, taste it, and if it needs another little drizzle, give it another little drizzle. But I'd say like just over a tablespoon of vinegar will be fine. Okay, so mix all of that together. I'm going to have a little taste, and I'm only sharing this with my family, so I'm going to taste it up here. Mate, that's intense. They're good, really good beans. Okay, I'm not going to add anything else to those. I'm happy with them. Got a nice bit of heat to them. Decent. Okay, so you can cook those through, and that's pretty much it. They're done. So I'm going to turn those right down. Whoa, getting a little bit. This thing's so spicy. This old, what was called hot. Okay, right. So all we're going to need to do now, really, in fact, I'm going to turn that off. Just plate up. So it's really, really simple. So get yourself a nice big bowl, like this. Okay. Some nachos. Okay. This is a good way of having crisps for tea and nobody judging you. And if you're doing veganuary, that's allowed. Alright, and then what we're going to do is we're going to add in the beans to the bowl, like this, in the middle. So I've like kind of made a little hole in the middle. I'm going to save some of those beans for breakfast. I don't need them all in that this nacho bowl. Okay, we're going to go in. I've got the guacamole, so I'm going to dash that into sort of 4 or 5 splodges around the beans. Presentation's everything. And also, if you're sharing this in the middle of the table, everyone can reach the guac if you do it like this. On each side. Looks good. Get in there. Right. Okay. Next up, we have. Oh yeah. So because I'm doing veganuary, I'm going to use some soy yogurt, but you could use sour cream. Put some cheese on top of these if you don't want to do the veganuary thing. Yeah. So, but I'm just going to put a few finishing splodges of soy yogurt in between those smudges of guacamole, and finally, just to finish it off, another little sprinkle of paprika, just because it looks good. So sprinkle that onto the white of your yogurt or your sour cream, whatever you're choosing to use. I'd like it if you can keep it vegan. And voila! There we have it. Spicy bean nachos, guacamole, and soy yogurt or sour cream, cheese, whatever you want to put on it. It's that easy. There's a nice vegan meal. It's important that we don't keep eating cheap meat all the time. That's a story for another day. Right, we'll see you next week, where I believe we're going to be making Zoe's vegan shepherd's pie. So watch this space for that. See you soon.